Martin from the Philippines. We're here in Real Talk Lifeline. So, welcome to a new series of podcast meditations. We're here with a new book. I just started reading this one. It's called Can't Hurt Me by David Goggins. So, this one, how we'll do this is I just start chapter 1. I'll be sharing some lines that really hit me, that resonated deeply with me. And you know what? Let's take it to a next level. Watch till the end and let's see how this goes. So let's begin. Let me share my screen, separate window, and these are notes that I journaled. So over here. So you could follow along with me and I will guide you as I read these over here. So Can't Hurt Me by David Goggins. This is the start, introduction, chapter 1. The first line that hit me: Don't worry, you aren't alone. In every town, in every country, all over the world, millions roam the streets, dead eyed as zombies, addicted to comfort, embracing a victim's mentality and unaware of their true potential. I know this because I meet and hear from them all the time. And because just like you, I used to be one of them. Next line. So I sought out pain, fell in love with suffering, and eventually transformed myself from the weakest piece of shit on the planet into the hardest man God ever created. Or so I tell myself. Next line that hit me. And if you ask me a direct question, I won't be shy. So this is what I love about David Goggins, Can't Hurt Me. You already just heard it. He doesn't hold back. So pardon guys if I didn't give a heads up, but the language here, he does not hold back. He will say it like it is, uncensored. Next line. There's something to be said for living it instead of studying it. So that's another thing. In this book, he doesn't just, speak or say something or study. There are actually challenges where you can actually live it, what he's sharing. So we'll get to that. Next line. Human beings change through stories. Through my story, you will learn how to get there. Because when you're driven, whatever is in front of you, whether it's racism, sexism, injuries, divorce, depression, obesity, tragedy, or poverty, becomes fuel for your metamorphosis. So that all these deep, dark challenges becomes fuel for your transformation. Next line. No matter who our parents are and what they do, we're all born with a moral compass that's properly tuned. When you're 6, 7, or 8 years old, you know what feels right and what feels way the fuck off. And when you are born into a cyclone of terror and pain, you know it doesn't have to be that way. And that truth nags at you. So I highly suggest to actually read the book because in detail, David Goggins shares his life story from his childhood, growing up with his dad, his mom, his brother, and you'll see, you will see in detail what he really means by that. And it may look perfect on the outside, like paradise. Oh, you got a Rolls Royce, 1962 cloud, and all, but it's so easy to judge a person's life until you actually live in their shoes and go through the story with them. Then you'll get it. Then I'll get it. So the last lines here. My pride rose up from a deeper place. We were taking action to find something positive for ourselves in a bleak situation. It was proof that we mattered and that we weren't completely powerless. So David Goggins grew up with abuse. So his father, it wasn't just physical, literally physical beatings, but it was also verbal and psychological, to the point that he would even wet his bed every time he would sleep. So, and then it led to his learning. His learning was stunted, so learning disability. He started stuttering in school. So again, more details in the book if you want to know that. But I'm just getting the key lessons that hit me. Last line here's: Sister Catherine is the reason why I'll never trust a smile or judge a scowl. My dad smiled a hell of a lot and didn't give two shits about me. But grouchy Sister Catherine cared about us, cared about me. So, what I'll do from this point is I'm going to stop the screen share. I'm going to move here to the challenge. So, at the end of chapter 1, there's actually a challenge here. So, challenge number 1. And I'll go through this quickly. And then I recommend and I suggest that you could also try it yourself if you want, right? Make this useful. Challenge number 1. My bad cards arrived early and stuck around a while, but everyone gets challenged in life at some point. What is your bad hand? What kind of bullshit are you dealing with? Are you getting beaten, abused, bullied? Do you ever feel insecure? Maybe your limiting factor is that you are growing up so supported and comfortable, you never push yourself. What are the current factors limiting your growth and success? If someone's standing in your way, sorry, is someone standing in your way at work or school? Are you underappreciated and overlooked for opportunities? What are the long odds you're up against right now? Are you standing in your own way? Break out your journal. If you don't have one, buy one or start one on your laptop, tablet, or in the Notes app of your smartphone and write them all out in minute detail. Don't be bland with this assignment. I showed you every piece of my dirty laundry. If you were hurt or are still in harm's way, tell the story in full. Give your pain shape, absorb its power, because you are about to flip that shit. You will use your story, this list of excuses, these very good reasons why you shouldn't amount to a damn thing, to fuel your ultimate success. Sounds fun, right? Yeah, it won't be. But don't worry about that yet. We'll get there. For now, just take inventory. Once you have your list, share it with whoever you want. For some, it may mean logging onto social media, posting a picture, and writing out a few lines about how your own past or present circumstances challenge you to the depth of your soul. If that's you, use the hashtags #badhand, #canthurtme. Otherwise, acknowledge and accept it privately. Whatever works for you. I know it's hard, but this act alone will begin to empower you to overcome. So let me do it. If any of you would like to do it yourself, even more powerful, make it more impactful for you. In the meantime, the only example that I have control of is myself, so I will share it. Challenge number 1. So this is mine. So for me, I listed down my bad hand. Again, challenge number 1. The first is bullied. When I say bullied here, I don't just mean growing up in an all boys school physically like that. It could also mean maybe you were the middle child, maybe you got hand me downs, maybe it was by your family, maybe without their knowing. Like when they forced you to get a hand me down, and then when you didn't want it, they shamed you, they guilted you, and said, you better be grateful for that. So it's not just that, it also could be in the workplace. Maybe you're eating a salad in the pantry, and the person who goes up to you says, they don't ask you what you're eating, right? Or where you got it. They ask who prepared that salad for you. Maybe you heard a line in the office, oh, you're a rich kid, or you don't even have to work anyway. So that could mean bullied for you. I'm just sharing with you my personal experiences. So number two, insecure. So yeah, I put that one there. I've been dealing with that my whole life. So whatever people say on the exterior, I am sharing with you my truth, my reality from the inside, the interior. Three, coddled. So I put there, caged animal at home. So again, I'm just sharing from my own place over here. And sometimes that's how parents treat their kids. And I don't know what it's like in your case. Maybe it's even more severe. Maybe you're like a Chinese only daughter, and you know what? You weren't even allowed to ever date or see guys in your whole life, and you're already 40 years old, something like that, right? So mine is more of that, coddled, feeling like a caged animal at home. Lastly, self, my fear and learned helplessness. So yeah, so my challenge is actually more in myself, because at this point I have fear that if I go out there, I feel like I might fail. I feel like I might die, literally, like because I run out of money or something bad happens. And then that term, learned helplessness. So the environment is not supportive of that, of being independent. I don't know how it's like in other Filipino families, households, or how common that is, whether in Metro Manila or in the provinces. But if your family just, keeps the kids at home, they are so scared when you go out, what time are you coming back, they don't encourage you to be independent. Hey, we're all going through that together. So this hashtag badhand, hashtag can't hurt me, the first challenge, the first step is just to take inventory. It is so fucking hard alone to just put yourself out there and do this. So, any of you who has the guts, the balls, the testicular fortitude to actually just take inventory, whatever it is. For David Goggins, it was physically, verbally, psychologically abusive father. He had to run away from home with his mom. So, whatever your story is, it's your story. That's challenge number one. And that's where we start from here. I am still reading the book. So, we're going to proceed with the next chapters and the next challenges over the next podcast meditations. Okay, let me just check the one comment over here. Good evening to you, my friend. So, thank you for watching. Thank you so much. So, check out the next podcast meditations episodes coming up in this new series. Thank you. I love you. And I will see you next time.